Happy New Year, everyone. This episode is going to be particularly brought to you by myself. My co host is sitting next to me, but is really not in the mood to chit chat right now. She's in a good mood. We've had a very big breakthrough in our relationship. On New Year's Eve, in a shower of fireworks, I proposed to Tamara, my future wife, and she obviously said yes. I knew she was going to. She's sitting next to me smiling. You don't want to chime in for a second? Even just for a second. How did you
Why?
feel?
Fine.
Oh my god, this is my future wife, everybody. Tomorrow I made a commitment to live my life with you. How does that feel? Fine.
Thank you. Fine.
hmm That's like how the electrician fixed the light in the bathroom. Does it work now? Oh yes, it's fine. Yeah. Well, good to know. My proposal is fine. Anyway. No, we'll try to bring her into the conversation every now and then. But yeah, it's a big step that honestly, oh my god. I remember when I was 18 how I remember when I was 25. That wasn't too long ago. I'm 30 now and I remember not too long ago I thought to myself like, you know what? I am going if I find a girl that I really think I want to propose to, I'm going to propose to her without a ring, and if she has any other reaction other than I will absolutely marry you, then I just know it's not the girl for me and she's a gold digger. But what I can say for the young men wondering that, whoa, is this the way to go? And does that really mean when you find the right girl, not only is it's very interesting. It changes something inside of you that you want her to have a ring because at the end of the day, she's going to be running around and doing whatever she needs to do in her life and our life. And I'm not going to be standing next to her the whole time. And girls love to chit chat with that stuff, kind of stuff. And I want her to be proud of what she has and our proposal and our relationship. So yeah, when you find the right girl, you want to give her a ring and to propose, but it's very easy to say that, oh yes, I'm only going to marry the girl that I propose to without a ring and she's okay with it. But at the end of the day, it's a very selfish kind of way to do it. And if that still works for somebody out there, great, good for you. But honestly, one of the indications that tipped me off to knowing that yes, I love this girl and I want to propose to her with a ring. Um, it was an interesting development in my attitude towards relationships. And you know what I also said, literally not too long ago, was that I refuse to marry anybody without a prenuptial agreement. And if she says no, then I'm not gonna get married. I'll fucking move on. I literally used to it was thinking like that, not even 5 years ago. But of course, there's no guarantees in life, and the way that I handled it is not for everybody. If you already have built something very big on your end and you're not totally sure, I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes to the proposal, I'm as sure as I could humanly be, and I told her that, and her reaction was very pleasant. Are you sure? She's still sitting here just staring at me.
Hmm? What?
What do you think? Were you sure?
Yeah,
Are you
of
sure?
course.
Are
I
you still
told you,
sure?
of course.
Yes. No, but it's really funny that, it's easy to have your plan and have this idea when the situation isn't in front of you, but I feel very blessed that I met the girl that changed my mind on a lot of things. Whatever I accumulate and build in my life, it will be with her at my side, and I honestly have no fear for our future. And honestly, I can't say that I can tell you for sure I have not even ever never been even close to being around a woman where I thought like I need to protect myself. I need to protect myself. I'm number one. I don't want to show any sort of give any sort of opening to my life or anything like that. And but with her, it's not the case at all. So yes, we're going into the new year. I hope everybody had a wonderful new year. Obviously resolutions are on the table, but I can't say that I honestly, I never wait for the new year to make a resolution. I just, if it's a random Tuesday and I want to change something, I will do it. But the new year is a nice time to, reevaluate, reassess. Most of us have an opportunity in during the new year, especially also during Christmas and New Year. We have this couple of days off usually, if you're lucky to get it from work or school, and you have some time to really reflect for a couple of days. And you know, it's a good time for setting the reset button, but there's nothing stopping us from doing it on any other day, and that's something I'm honestly proud of myself for being able to do. Is that if on a Tuesday I've had enough of eating bread, then you know what, I cut out the carbs, and yeah, sure, I go back, but at the end of the day, I am in a very privileged situation that I make changes throughout my days, weeks, even in one day, I can make a significant change in my life, and that's something that I'm very proud of. I don't just make an excuse and wait around for an not just to wait around and wait for s- a particular day that says, "Oh, today I'll change this habit next week." If I have the desire on that day, I will change it that day. What's two resolutions that you have? You, yes, you. Two resolutions for the new year.
What?
Tell me. Tell the people. What's two resolutions for this year? It doesn't have to be about our married life. It doesn't have to be about our personal life. Something simple. Motivate the people.
Two resolutions.
Yeah, simple.
Mm.
Nothing so personal. She's shaking her head no. Okay, one. Not even one? She's a tomorrow, seriously. One. One of my resolutions this year is to do 100 burpees every single day, which is the exercise where you drop down into a push up, stand back up, and once you are standing, jump, and then from the jump back down to the push up, again onto your feet and jump. Uh, so far, I haven't done it once, but I'm working on it.
Mhm.
What? I'm not perfect. Okay, now you should tell what's one. And to read 10 pages a day. So far, again, I haven't done it in 2 days. I today I need to read my first 10 pages.
Okay, one resolution I
Yeah,
will say.
one.
No, I have a lot.
I know you have a lot.
I have a
She's
lot,
such a little
but
angel. She was just sitting quietly today for like 2 hours,
my
writing,
God,
writing,
of
writing.
course. No, but one is like more self-discipline, I would say. Like,
Self
uh,
discipline is good.
for example, um, at least 1 hour before going to bed, get rid of any screens.
Well, you
Yes,
were just looking at your phone 2 seconds ago until I interrupted
yes,
you.
but yeah, but we're not still going to bed.
Yeah,
Yes,
we're gonna call my
yeah,
parents
yeah.
soon.
So
They're happy about the proposal and our engagement, so I want to talk to them a little bit.
yeah, or basically to ensure good healthy sleep and getting
Hmm.
rid of any kind of screens. Yeah, it's a very good habit. Like at least 1 hour before going to bed, and yeah, one resolution.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
you want
perfect. Okay,
it?
yeah. So yeah, she has a good point. Oh my God, you know what's so funny? Even something as simple as, oh, turn off the screen 1 hour before bed. It's You know what it is that not you're not gonna die, or you're still gonna be able to sleep at night, but it's just like the small little habit that ultimately ends up being a very good habit, and uh, a very good improvement to overall lifestyle, since we all know how important sleep is, and it's a well-known fact that any sort of screen, it just distracts you from falling asleep, number one, and also uh, physically, you know, uh, disrupts your sleepiness. So yeah, but oh my gosh, it's always it's amazing how easy it sounds, but sometimes the difficulty, as easy as it is to do, it's so easy not to do. I think that's the number one problem with these things. It's so easy to do, but it's also so easy not to do.
Mhm.
And nothing's going to happen if you don't do it, but things will also not happen. Well, things happen if you don't do it, and things happen that if you do it. But the effect is so small and minuscule. But yeah, that's what's really funny. Sometimes it's the really big decisions that are easier to stick to.
Mhm.
Hmm. So what? I think the proposal has been the biggest thing that's been going on lately. Let me tell you a story actually about how good God is. So Tamara and I have been trying to get a visitor visa to visit my parents back in the U.S. She's never been there yet, so it would have been really nice to come home for Christmas. And we had an opportunity to go to the first appointment, which we had gotten denied to. But getting outside of that, we were obviously really disappointed when we were leaving the embassy that day. But little did we know that, thank God we didn't go, because a situation ended up coming along where we needed to be here in Georgia, needed to be close by, and needed to be available. And the details are personal, so I don't go into it. But I'm telling you, this isn't just like, oh yeah, the power went out, or something that, oh, and that, or this isn't just something small. There was a really, really serious reason why we needed to be around, and thank God that we were, and thank God that our first visa appointment was denied. Because had we not been around, there's a strong likelihood that we would have had to completely change plans, come back to Georgia to fulfill an obligation. And for those of you that are wondering, yes, everything is fine now. Everything's back under control, thank God. But it just goes to show, guys, when there's something that you really want and you make your best effort to make it happen, if it doesn't happen in that time, just put your hands together and know that God has you in his hands and God has his plan. I'm not even kidding. It was a thank God that our first attempt to get the visitor visa didn't go through, because we wouldn't have been here in Georgia in the country to handle of and to help in a very serious situation. And like I said, we she and I both left this appointment genuinely disappointed. And honestly, that was the first disappointment that I experienced in quite some time. I remember when she went into the embassy, and I went across the street to a McDonald's that happened to be there. McDonald's, pay me money for paying. I'm mentioning your name. And she went into the embassy, and I couldn't go with her because I had nothing to do with the appointment. So I go wait in this McDonald's, and then she comes back, and I'm expecting her to just give me a quiet thumbs up that yes, we got it. And she says no. And I remember we talked about it for a minute, but I was genuinely disappointed for like the first time in a long time. Although the disappointment was short lived, literally that day, I just said, Tamara, we're going to look back on this day and remember that God has his plan. And literally, when was your appointment? On the 4th or something?
On the
On the
ninth.
9th? Not even a month later, I already see how God's plan has all was in place, just like it always is. And she and I were just talking about that today. And isn't it amazing how
Yeah.
when you fight so hard for something and you really put your effort, it doesn't matter what happens. It's always the right thing.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. I have such a lovely little princess. Life is good, guys. If create some sort of relationship with a higher power. Makes no difference to me how you do it, though you know, and I will tell you, I will always say and point to Jesus Christ. But create a relationship with a higher power, and life just gets so much more pleasant, so much more bearable, so much more meaningful. Honestly, I didn't understand even so many things until I got a spiritual relationship with God in my life. And now when I look back on things that were at the time not pleasant or terrible or whatever, or oh my god, speaking of how, oh my, yeah, my life is so terrible, oh my life is so terrible, no, that wasn't the case. But jumping around a lot, if you've never listened to the Joe Rogan podcast, which is pretty weird, tomorrow, you've never listened to Joe Rogan
Mm-mm.
podcast.
Mm-mm.
My
No.
wife, my beautiful, lovely, angelic little wife has never listened to the Joe Rogan podcast. Tell her what she's missing. Leave a comment. Tell her what she's missing. Tell me your favorite Joe Rogan episode. I would love to know. But anyway, a vast majority of his listeners are men, I think. Like more than 80%, if not 90% of his listeners are men. We are experts at long form conversation. I'm kidding. Women are too, but it's nonsense. Kidding. But there was this story about this lady, Yeonmi Park or something, but a lady, basically a North Korea escapee. Oh my gosh, how little I have to complain about in my life. How little most of us have to complain in our life. What is going on over there is crazy. Is crazy horrible. There's literally a Holocaust going on in North Korea, and listening to this episode was just such a eye-opening experience of how good my life is and how good and lucky I was to be born into where I was born. And oh my god. Anyway, yeah, there's been a lot of stuff floating around in my mind during the new year, and yes, so much has changed. Realistically, my entire life has changed, and as I sit on our bed recording this little thing, and Tamara sits there quietly, my hand tucked over her hand, and it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Life is good. Any closing messages for the people? Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Merry Orthodox Christmas for those of you that will be celebrating on January 7th. It's coming up.
Happy New Year, guys. Everything the
Yeah.
best.
Okay. That being said, God bless. Take care. See you in 2026 and next week as well. 2024. Wow.
2025.
2025. Peace.